What is up? Sorry, my chair is squeaking. 2 episodes deep, started the 3rd episode. Starting to really hit my groove, starting to really feel good about this. Injecting some positivity into the comedy community for when we get back out there. Couple things I wanted to touch on from the last 2 episodes. Reached out to Deejay. He is a bad guy. I appreciate him being honest about that. He did want to follow up. He was like, hey man, don't go telling people that. So I was like, hey, full disclosure, I'll start it off right up top, make sure people know. So, don't trust him. And then the host from the first episode that I did, Mac Blake. Yeah, Mac Blake. I heard that guy's name so much in Austin. And he was really funny. His voice reminds me of the guy from Cheers. And then also, I think that guy also voices the piggy bank on Toy Story. Excuse me. But anyhow, so episode 3, I think it's going to be a 2-part series. What I want to do is, I had a couple different ideas, but for this one, what I'd like to do, kind of wanted to go over my favorite, kind of reminisce on my favorite venue here in Austin, and then the hosts of this venue. And then maybe 1 or 2 people, if I have time, other just comedians, but maybe 1. I'll throw 1 comedian in there. But I don't know if anybody's ever, that's listening has performed there, but there's a place, it's a bar. There was one night I went to Cold Town Theater, and I was sitting in the lobby waiting to go up, and I don't know if any of y'all remember Bobby, Bob Woods, good dude. He was actually the first person I ever met doing stand-up. Still friends with him to this day. Got a sick, nice Chicago accent there. But he texted me and was like, hey man, how's the show going? I was like, well, I haven't went up yet. He said, oh, I'm at this place called the Pizza Parlor. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, maybe I'll try that out next week. So, long story short, it was the Parlor. Yeah. So I went there I've been there a bunch of times, probably been there the most times out of anywhere I've ever performed. And something about it is just like, it's kind of a rougher environment, but it's also forgiving. It's weird. It's like being friends with somebody who looks threatening, but then you talk to them and they're nice. It's a really strange vibe. I love it. The bartender's super cool, Brian. And then, of course, the hosts are Jessica, Tate, and Deejay Vasquez, who I like both of them a lot. They just have such a great dynamic. And then, hey, stop honking your horn out there. And then what's the word? A shifting host, a swing host. I don't know what you'd call it. Somebody who hosts every once in a while. Calvin. Calvin's kind of dipped in and dropped some hosting stuff every once in a while there. Maybe I'll just talk about those 3. Maybe this will be just a quick 3. But yeah, I really like that place. I'll start with Deejay. Deejay Vasquez has some really funny jokes. He's got the joke. I really like his joke about his grandma calling him names about his lips. It's just, I don't know. It's good stuff. He's also just a good host too, because he kind of riffs on people in between. It's enjoyable to watch him. But also I have a special place in my heart for Deejay, because he gave me my first set that was longer than 5 minutes. And I'll talk a little bit about it. I went there. The first couple comedians went up. Actually, the host went up. It was Mark Pena who was hosting, who's also funny. And when Mark had started the show, this guy came in with like tattered clothes and a messed up looking beanie. And when the show started, the guy just started yelling during punchlines. Every time Mark was about to hit a punchline, he would yell something. But it wasn't like, you suck, or, that joke is lame. It was like weird things, like Mariah Carey's in the forest. It's like stuff that you couldn't combat, you couldn't come back from. So he did that for the majority of the show. I think Craig Fergola was there. He went up and Mark was trying to be like nice about it and I think he may have had a couple jabs at him, but was pretty nice for the most part. Craig like freaking tried to burn him to the ground, and the guy was still yelling. And when you have, somebody like Craig getting up there with a Boston accent or a Maine accent, I can't remember where you're from, Craig, I'm sorry. That northern, northeast accent up there calling your names. Hey, shut your mouth over there. I don't know, it's not a great accent, but if you could withstand that, you're not going to bend to someone like me getting on stage. So I think at a certain point, Mark had actually coerced him out the front door. And I think Sarah Klein was performing, and she was wrapping up her last joke. And I was standing next to Mark, and I just see the door pop open, and the guy's head pops in. And Mark is like, man, sorry. Well, the old recorder cut off. But anyhow, yeah, Mark was like, sorry, man, I'm sorry, dude. Whatever, I love Mark's voice. So the guy, I go on stage, I start my set, and Mark kind of runs over and gets this guy out the door, and in the process, some chairs fall over, and everybody in the room is already like kind of a little bit drained just because this guy's been yelling through everybody's sets. And I didn't really do that well. But it was my first 10-minute set, so I didn't expect to do that well. But yeah, so long story short, thanks Deejay for getting me that show. It was a good learning experience. Yeah, so the other host, Jessica Tate, super sweet, super supportive. I think if Jessica wasn't there, it would be a much different open mic. Because, as everybody knows who knows Jessica, she has a great laugh and makes you feel like you're doing well, even if you're not. If she happens to step out while you're on stage, then it's just, you don't have as much oomph behind your jokes, But it's good. It's a good environment where she kind of facilitates the laughter in the room so that people can feel comfortable, and I think maybe that's partially why I like it so much. Also, she came to support the Bomb City open mic whenever we were in the thick of it. I know she has a joke where she talks about she references Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she talks about things that you'll see if you go into her vagina, which is hilarious. So if you see her, look out for that joke. But yeah, super sweet person. Glad she's there. And then you got old Calvin. Calvin, kind of the third, the substitute host, He pops in now and again. Calvin's got like real snappy, quick jokes. Very I guess street jokes, you'd consider them. I'm trying to think. I know he has a joke about a housewarming present. It has something to do with a space heater. I'm sorry I messed that up, Calvin. But a lot of quick, snappy jokes. He also came to support him and Deejay. That's why I love that place so much, man. They're just super supportive. They came to check out the Bomb City open mic. And I talked to Calvin a little bit, and he actually won a comedy contest, I guess a couple years ago, which was pretty badass. So congrats to you, Calvin. out there winning awards. But yeah, this would be a really short one. I think, yeah, I'll leave it short for this time. And then I'll do another one soon. So thank you guys for listening. If you know, if you want me to talk about you, if you want to hear a story, just shoot me a message. I'll talk about you. I'll give them the nitty gritty. But stay healthy, stay safe. Comedy will be back soon. Goodbye.